Thank you all for coming out tonight. So when I was in high school, I knew I wanted to go to the UW because what's more inspiring than a man in your own state who has become the first person to derive human embryonic stem cells that have this amazing potential to transform biological research. So while I was pursuing that path, these preeminent scientists were discovering that you could take a cell and reprogram it to another state by identifying master regulators inside of the cell and controlling its environment. So lo and behold, my dream came true, and I got into Jamie's lab as soon as I graduated and met also him and another guy who, created Dolly the sheep. And I even published while I was there. So the next logical thing, of course, is to get into a PhD program and continue on that awesome life path. This was in 2009. Everything seemed to be going right. By this time, I had also married. We had gotten our first car. We're both getting our dream jobs. We have a house. And in Madison, sometimes you have to shovel your life path. So a little bit after that, this little guy was born. He is the central joy of my world. I couldn't be more happy to be a father and to call this little man my son. Unfortunately, 2006 wasn't all utopia. And even though my mother did get to meet him, she passed away unexpectedly the day after I was supposed to declare my lab that I was going to do my PhD research in. And kind of like Will, there was this moment of inspiration where this person who has helped you to become who you are drives you to be the best that you can be. And so I just went back to what I could control. I focused on these gene networks that control the reprogramming of a cell to an embryonic-like state, and I learned a few lessons along the way. It turns out this was like the beginning of a cascade of things I couldn't control. I ended up losing my wife and getting divorced, and I left the lab because my advisor was not the right fit for me. But around the same time, I had the opportunity to go to this Change Your Mind, Change the World conference that Richie Davidson and others put on. And the whole takeaway message there was we need to create a society that is first and foremost altruistic. And so I was like, wait a second, I've been working on this reprogramming model. What if my mind is the inside and the world is the outside? I could take where I am now and get to this ideal state if I just am mindful enough. And so there were a number of signs that started pointing me on this new path. And this is one of those quotes. I'm sure you guys have all seen it before, but it's a path of mindfulness. And what I really tried to do was focus on my mind and then explore options in the community that I could plug into that would reinforce that mindful state of doing altruistic work. And so I became a member and board member and working volunteer of Occupy Madison. And as you can look at this, it's the same model. You have a homeless person within a community in their current state, and they can get to this ideal state of being housed, right? And then the Dane County Time Bank was another entity that was all about these like-minded folks that wanted to recreate this society of what's worthy of valuing. And we're pioneering right now some restorative justice efforts. Again, we can reprogram the justice system. So the way it stands in America is a criminal justice system, and we can shift that to a restorative justice system. And it all starts with the person and the surrounding support of the community. And so I continued on this path, and I found this place called 100 State that happens to be an incubator. You can see a bunch of their core values right here. This was like a chosen family, and now I'm able to create a system that can actually help other people to follow a similar path where we ourselves in a community and we want to get to our best selves. So this is what I'm designing, is a system to help all of us be able to do this. And you might wonder how. And how we can do this is to create currency around something that's really valuable. And what I think, and what people who have come to work with me think, is that we can value each other's goodness and turn that into a form of something that we can all exchange and value and create currency to help meet our basic needs. And that's what I'm really passionate about. So thank you so much for coming tonight, and thank you for being you.